Right, welcome back, and today we're going to do the installation and configuration of WDS on a Windows Server 2019 and the installation of the IIS. Now, before we even launch up the server, we need to change some settings for them. So, in the Windows Server 2019, we go to the settings and click storage. Here you will see the controller SATA, and we have the two drives there. We're going to right click it, click optical drive, and then click the Windows 10 Pro, which is the activation the ISO used to install the client server. Then we have that, so we have the optical drive there. Here I was also supposed to add another disk drive, but I forgot to do that. But it's okay if you did forget to do it as well, that's fine, we can always come back and add it. But I've started up the system, and now we are going to start the installation process. Launching the actual server machine does take a while. I'm sure that you have noticed this, and it is because it is all the settings we have done throughout all the episodes. It's going to take a while because it has all these settings to apply in the computer itself. Right, so once we have reached there, we open it, we put in our password to the administrator account, and then we are in. From here, we now go to the server manager, which normally comes up by default. We go to tools, and we go down to DNS. We go down to our server, we click the little arrow to go down. We're going to right click it and launch NSLookup just to make sure that DNS is still working and operational. Then we go back to tools, then we go to DHCP, we go back to the IPv4. We're going to just make sure the scope is still there. All of this is just checks to make sure everything is operational, and we have our start IP and end IP. Everything is looking good, and that is it for this. So we go to the start menu. Sorry, we go to the file explorer. We go to this PC, and as you can see, there is no drive there. I tried to check for it in device manager, but I was to no avail. So this means we will have to go and shut down the system and install it once again. Right, so now that we are back into the actual VM here, we're going to right click the controller and we're going to add a hard disk. So we're going to, oh, it wasn't available because this VM is still running. So make sure the VM is shut down. Add a hard disk. We're going to choose the Windows 10 client and then press OK. From there we can go and restart the entire process again. Again, this will take a little while, so right, so once you have gone into the actual system itself, we're going back to this PC, and as you can see that the local disk and your system reserve is there, so that means what we did worked. So now we will have to go and wipe and clear the entire thing, and in order to do that you'll have to go to the disk management. So here we try to go to this manager, but it doesn't work all the time. We'll have to find a different way in order to get through with that. So there we went to the device manager. We have our disk drives, and this shows that the devices are working properly. Right, so now we're going to click start, and we're looking for computer management, and then we're going to click disk management, and here you can see the drives that we have. Now just remember, C drive is the one that has the Windows installed, so you do not want to interfere with that one. The G drive is the one that we're going to use, so I am going to format it. I'm going to delete the volume, and I'm going to add simple volume, and then back the same letter. Just click next for everything, and from here we're going to add a shrink, and just press OK, and there we go. So now because it's unallocated, we have to create a new simple volume again, and this time is another letter because the new volume is G, and there you go. So now you have a new volume there, and as you can see in the file manager, it shows up there as well, the new volume 8 with drive H, and you have the two CD drives, which are your installations for Windows Server and the client Windows 10. So now we are going to the server manager. We're going to add features, click next, and click next again. Make sure we are on the server, click next, and we are going to look for Windows deployment services, add features. Once you have clicked it, then click next, and click next again. This is just a summary of what WDS is, and you have role services. Make sure the two of them are checked, then click next. These are just a little confirmation of all the stuff that we did before. Restart if needed, and then press install. Now the installation might take a little while depending on how fast your VM and your machine is. Once it's done, you just press close, then you go back to tool, and you scroll all the way down till you see Windows deployment services. Now from here we have servers, and we have Active Directory. We're going to click the servers, then click on our server, press configure, then click on next, then integrated with Active Directory, then click next. Then here we're going to put the actual hard drive that we have just done, which was volume 8, but if you click it here, it wouldn't work. All we need to do is just replace the letter C and then have the install the remote install afterwards, as shown here. It wouldn't work, so we have to go and just redo this little section here again. Configure, press next, make sure it's an integrated, press next, then just change the C to the H, which is the drive that we wanted on, and you can check it by going to this PC and make sure it's H. Once that is correct, then you press next. You can leave those two connected together and then press next, and then you will want to click the last option, which is respond to all client computers, and then press finish and let it install and do its running processes. Once it's finished, it will go back to the screen here. You can go to all, right click it, go to all tasks, and then start services. Once done correctly, you will get the successfully started. So from here we have the new volume. You can see that the remote install folder is created. If you go right click it, go on properties, go on sharing. In this instance, I didn't click the folder, and you're supposed to click the folder. Right now it's clicked on the new volume, so click the folder, go on sharing, and you realize, hey, now it is shared. Once you've seen that, then you're in the right step. So now we go back to our Windows deployment services, and then we go to servers and then click on boot images and add boot image. We're going to browse, go to this PC, and then we are going to go to the CD drive that has the Windows 10 client. We're not going to the server, we're going to the client. So we're going to click on it, click open, go to sources, scroll all the way down until you see boot.wim, and click open and then press next. And you can change the image name to whatever you would like. I believe in this sentence here I just changed Windows 10 setup, so we'll know which version it is, and then just press finish and it will be adding the image. Now for this next part, I had a little trouble due to the fact that my ISO did not have an install image, but yours would most likely do. And what you would do, you will go install image, you will go create, input a name, browse in the same folder, same folder, same directory where you went. You go to sources, right next to boot.wim will also have an install.wim. As you can see here, I tried looking for it, but I did not have it, unfortunately. In order for me to get this working, I would have to reinstall or get another ISO that has it. And if you realize, if you can't even use the boot.wim because it is not a boot image, it's an install image that we're trying to do. So if you do have install.wim, then all you will have to do is the exact same process. Go to installs and press install.wim, click open, then press next, and then you have the actual install there. And that's it for creating the actual WDS. Now for the IIS, we're going to our device, our server manager. We're going to add features. We're going to make sure the web server IIS is installed. As you can see, when you have 10 out of 43, so we're going to click the icon, click the FTP, which is the remainder, then click next and next again, and then press install. Now again, this might take a little while to install depending on how quickly your computer operates or your VM operates. But once installed, that will be the end of it, and your IIS has been installed. And there you go, the feature has been installed, and that is it. You can click on the ISS and just to make sure everything is working. As you can see, it's online, and that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and this is the end of all of my tutorials, and that will be all.